Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm a Monk, and today we are doing a review for a game called Moving Out. Now, Moving Out is a very kid-friendly indie puzzle-solving co-op game, and it's been published by Team 17. It can currently be played on the Switch, the PlayStation, the Xbox and the PC, and will set you back around £18 depending on, what platform you actually buy this on. Now, like I said, this is a puzzle solving co-op game. You can play it single player, but the general idea is that you take on the role of a fart. Yes, that's right, you heard me correctly. You take on the role as a fart and you are helping people move out. You've got to get the designated pieces of furniture from the houses and stack them very neatly and professionally inside the moving van. But fear not, guys, you are fully qualified. There is a tutorial mode at the beginning of the game, which you have to complete to actually play the game. It's rather basic and simple, but it does tell you the basic ideas of what you're going to have to do in order to complete each mission. Unfortunately, I played this with my daughter. Now, we love these sort of games. We've played many of them. They're kind of, the sort of games we love to play at the weekend. Just chilling on the couch, having a mess around. But for the life of us, we could not work out how to throw the sofa. It's one of the mechanics in the game that you don't need to do, but you kind of have to do in order to pass the tutorial mode, and we were stuck for a good chunk of time, probably a little bit too long, which was quite funny. I do think this game is fairly easy to play and to use, very user friendly. Like I said, there is a tutorial. However, this mechanic in particular just had us stumped, unfortunately. And I know what you're thinking. Maybe you're a parent at home thinking, I'll pick this up for my kid. I can do all the work and they can just have fun. It doesn't quite work like that. If you play this co-op player, then everything does become harder. There are certain pieces of furniture which is designated two-person job only. And if you try and do it on your own, then it's going to be extremely difficult. You're probably not going to be able to do it, and you're going to be moving extremely fast. Most of the times, unfortunately, you are against a clock, kind of trying to complete whatever puzzle you may be on. And unfortunately, I couldn't seem to find a way to turn off that timer, which is a little bit disappointing because that was one thing that my daughter kind of picked out that she didn't really like about the game, that the fact that there was a timer, she was having to compete against the timer, and she felt, sad when she wasn't able to get that gold medal. I understand we got to get good, perfectly on board with that, but I just think it would have been nice if there would have been an option, or at least a clear option, where I could have just turned off that clock and just made the game that much more enjoyable while we were playing. Now, as ever, when it comes to these kind of reviews, I do generally play with my daughter. We have a bit of fun, kick back and play the game. I do also play by myself, though. I would highly recommend playing this game with someone. While this game can be completed on your own and you can do the puzzle solving stuff on your own, this is a funny game. Like, there's certain things that you can do in this game that are just hilarious. You can kind of get in each other's way, wind each other up, and just have an absolute ball. When you're playing it on your own, it's kind of a little bit more serious, and you're just trying to complete each mission as fast as possible against the clock. And while that may be enjoyable for some, I would highly recommend playing this game with somebody else. As you see right now, you do actually get the opportunity to drive around in the moving truck, going from project to project. The actual driving around is actually a bit of fun as well. You can play some football and see the sights. The town isn't very big. There are actually expansions though, which is quite cool that you can, move the game on. But in all, I personally had a lot of fun playing this game. My daughter had a lot of fun playing this game. And I think the kind of puzzles that you come up against are progressively more difficult. This is a game that you can kind of jump into and have a lot of fun, but it's also a game that I think you can get a decent amount of time out of, because as you progress through this game, you do get those harder puzzles, those puzzles that are going to take you a little bit more time. Maybe you're not going to be able to complete on the first try, maybe even a second try. You're going to have to figure out in what order you're going to need to get these items out and in the truck as fast as possible. I think the hardest thing about this game, if we're going to pick out a hardest thing, one of the hardest things about this game is going to be actually fitting everything inside the truck. Sometimes you go into a house, you have to put in 24 items in your truck, but you're going to have to stack them in the truck in the right order for it to actually work. Some of the smaller things you can kind of throw on top of the bigger things, but those bigger items you do have to play a little bit of Tetris with. Personally, I quite like that. I like the fact that this game did even challenge me at times. You know, maybe even embarrassed to say that, but like I said, I did have a lot of fun. I think it's very user friendly. I think it's priced right. I think the length is correct, and I do think this is very well marketed for kids. I think the bright colors, the way everything looks and moves, just really fits in that whole you know, little area. I think it's marketed very, very well towards them. I think they have a absolute blast playing this. But let me know down in the comments, guys, if this is a game that you have picked up, played with a family, if you would recommend it for family. Personally, that's where I would market this game towards, and what I think is a really good game to kind of sit down with the family and have fun. This is a co-op game. You can have up to 4 people actually playing couch co-op, which I quite like. There's not too many of these games out anymore. Unfortunately, they're not released quite often enough, and I think we do need a lot more of them. But yeah, from me, I'm going to give this game a good solid 7 out of 10. I think it does everything it's supposed to do. There are a couple of mechanics that are a little bit tricky, but in general, you really can't go wrong for £18. Like I said, this is a Switch game, Xbox, PlayStation, and on the PC as well. But guys, if you have enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And of course, we do have an active and growing Discord as well. So if you want to join that, come say hi. If you're a gamer in general, chat about any game you are currently playing. We have quite a few people in there that, kind of chat and hang out. So you are more than welcome. The link for that will be down in the description. And if you have stayed to the very end of the review, a big thank you to you. It's a massive way you can help support the channel. Stand to the end of it, helps all those YouTube analytics and all of that. If you have stayed, don't forget to comment red banana down below just to confuse all those new to the channel, and of course all those people that didn't watch to the very end. But until next time, guys, I've been a monk, we've been a Critically Clueless, and I'll see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy, and of course, as ever, happy gaming. I'll leave you with this this last little clip of us absolutely struggling and failing to get this bed out of the house and in the truck.